Are we rolling? Yes, we are. What's up, guys? It's McKinley Crain here. Today I'm going to be doing my spoiler-free movie review of the original 1977 horror movie, Suspiria. So, like I said, Suspiria is a 1977 horror film that stars Jessica Harper as Susie, who is like a young woman, like college-aged, college age. That's what I mean. That's what I meant to say. College age. She looks like she's about like college age, who like you know moves to Germany, and she moves to Germany to like attend like a ballet school, like a ballet boarding school that's like basically like a university. Like it's kind of like a university, like it's got young adults and stuff like that in it, like college aged, like young adults, like college aged adults, like like 18 through like 24, 22, around there. But it's like a ballet school. It just teaches like ballet. So anyway, she moves there, and yeah, the ballet school she goes to, like it's in Germany, and like I it's just really the design for it is really creative. Like whoever designed like the building was really artistically creative and stuff like that, because it just looks so like cultural and fancy. Anyway, so when strange things start happening, like okay, so the first night Susie arrived, the first strange thing happened, and the strange things that are like going on at this school involve like murders and just strange stuff that's happening, like like stuff that's like horrifying and like just partly unexplainable. It's like these things are like explained, but like they're just so mysterious. And the main character and like her roommate are both especially like intrigued by all this mysterious stuff. And Susie meets a lot of like suspicious characters in this movie, and it's honestly hard to tell which one or ones are behind it, or behind like all that's going on. And it's hard to tell like what's behind it, like what the motive for all this stuff is. And that's what these characters have to figure out. And let me tell you, this is a thrilling ride of a movie. It's one heck of a thrilling ride. It's a really fun movie. Overall, it's not a perfect movie, but it is a great movie. But it does have some perfect parts in it. It does have some perfect parts in it. Like, a few small perfect parts in it. Like, a lot of like the scenes in this movie, like, are so like, a lot of like the scenes that are meant to be thrilling are like just perfect scenes. And then there are a couple other scenes that are perfect. But overall, most of the scenes, well, the majority of the scenes in this movie are great, but they're not, perfect. They're not like 10 out of 10 great, even though there are some that are. Anyway, I I love this movie. It was better than I expected it to be. I expected it to be great, but I didn't expect it to be as great as it was. Anyway, this movie is very thrilling. Um, it's just very fun. A lot of the thrilling scenes, the scenes that are meant to be like thrilling and intense, are perfect scenes. Um, this movie didn't have a well, you can tell by some of the special effects that this movie didn't have a very high budget. But who cares? The special effects were good for their time. They weren't great. You can tell that they were paid for by low budget. But they used their low budget well. Plus, this was 1977. So, they didn't really have great special effects back then. So, they had to work with what they had. Anyway, well, the special effects, you don't have to have great special effects to, have a great movie. And, the quality of the special effects doesn't really affect anything in here. Anyway, it doesn't, make anything worse, even though the special effects aren't great. They are good, though. Anyway, just the twist is great. The twist is it's a perfect twist. It's one of the few things in this movie that are perfect out of the rest of the scenes, aside from the rest of the scenes that are great but not perfect in this movie. The twist is perfect, and the ending is the ending of the movie is great but not perfect. The ending, like the last moment of the last scene, is great but not perfect. Yeah, a lot of the acting in this movie is great, but it's not perfect. For most of the time. For most of the time, it's great but not perfect. But during certain scenes, like the ones that I mentioned a couple minutes ago, the perfect ones, the acting is perfect. The perfect ones, the acting is perfect. This movie is just an amazing movie, and with an amazing masterpiece, use of color. The use of color in this movie is perfect. It's also perfect, but the use of color in this movie doesn't really affect the movie, in general, that much. So, you could say, so what? But, it's just amazing to look at, it's every scene from this, frame from this movie is a work of art. Because, the use of color is, so well done and, so well used. And it's inspired other horror movies to use a similar use of color, the Nicolas Cage horror movie Mandy, which I have also seen, and which is also a great movie, and which I also love. Anyway, I'm going to give this movie a 91% out of 100%, which is the equivalent of an A. Like, subscribe, join the notification squad. I will return.